Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well. It's the morning of the game against Sheffield United, and I want to give you a brief injury update ahead of the game. And it's following on from Pep's press conference yesterday, what Pep said about injuries. And it might give you an idea about your fantasy football teams and maybe some players not to have in your team. Let's start off with John Stones. Johnny Stones got injured in the last game against Everton. Now, Pep said maybe Newcastle or after Abu Dhabi. I think Abu Dhabi must be the international break. Got 10 days, 2 weeks off, whatever, depending on FA Cups. And by the signs of it, it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks, possibly. I think they were more worried at the time. But it looks like John Stones won't be out for an extended period of time. But personally, I don't see him featuring against Newcastle. You could argue we shouldn't need him against Newcastle. We've got enough defenders, and there's no point bringing him back, rushing him back, and for him to get another injury or for it to be, reoccur. You've got to give John Stones a bit of time to get back. So I don't expect to see him, possibly not for the Huddersfield game, because why push him to play in a game that you would expect to win? Give him time to recover and let him come back later in the month. Erling Haaland, another big name. I thought he'd be ready for the possibly for today or possibly for the Huddersfield game, but by the signs of it, ain't happening, guys. Pep said he's not training yet. I thought I'd seen some little bit of a few clips of him passing the ball around when they were out in Saudi Arabia for the World Club Championship. Okay, but he's not training yet with the lads. Now, that's a worry. And there's been no proper time frame given by Pep as to when Erling will be back. Once I go through some of the other points, I think I'll explain when I think everybody will be back. Doku. By the signs of it, Doku ain't training either. I've not seen anything from Doku from the club and any pictures or video of him. No idea whatsoever as to where Doku is right now. No idea. So that's another concern. Obviously, especially with Jack having his house burgled last week or earlier in the week. Pep said yesterday he will be in training. And they will see. Okay, they will see basically how he feels. KdB, the big one. KdB, Pep said he wants to play. He's training with a lot of energy. He's basically, I think, fully immersed in that training. But they're going to handle him step by step. It's been a serious injury, a bad injury. He's had surgery. It's a muscle injury. Pep said even though you might look fit and everything points that you're fit, you might still not be 100%. So I think he's going to be introduced very, very slowly, as usually we do with KdB. He said he's certainly not going to be playing 90 minutes. I think it's going to be a 10-minute cameo appearance in a game. Maybe the next game will be 45 minutes, and then we'll see after that. So Pep's not really one for playing plays for 45 minutes. He's not going to play KdB for the first 45 minutes of a game. And he's not going to bring him on at halftime unless it's an injury. So, I don't see 45. But I see something like a 10 minutes, a 20 minutes, cameo appearances, a couple of them, 2 or 3, 4 of them, and then maybe a 60 minutes and then a 90. But it's going to take a long time, and I think it's important to ease him back in slowly. Now, Pep also said, basically, hopefully by the end of the month, maybe, it's only a maybe everyone will be fit. I'm not sure about Doku. People not asking questions in the press conference about Doku. It's a bit of disrespect. They asked about Haaland, they asked about Stones, they asked about KdB, they asked about Jack. No one asking about Doku, not from the bits and pieces I heard. But let's hope that by the end of the month, and we haven't got a lot of games this month, which is what's going to help us. Obviously, we've got the Sheffield United today. We've got Huddersfield in the FA Cup, but we've got a week before we play Huddersfield. We've got 6 days or 7 days before we play Huddersfield. And then we've got 6 days before we play Newcastle after that. So that gives us a chance for getting more people back. I think KdB will be back for Newcastle. I think KdB will be on the bench at least for Newcastle. So that's going to be a positive. And then we've got time off. I think it's a 2-week break or something like that. into the winter break. I'm not sure about when the next round of the FA Cup is. I think that's before the end of that winter break. If we beat Huddersfield, we've got that game. But we're not playing, as Pep said, games every 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. We've got, after today, we've got a break, we've got a week, got 6 days. If we've got the FA Cup the weekend after, we've got a week and then another week. So that's going to help us. Actually, I think the 31st is, we got bags of time. Bags of time. The 31st is a month away. So that's the Burnley game at home. I think that's an evening game on a Wednesday. So that's actually going to be good. I think the FA Cup probably will be the weekend before. I haven't checked because I wasn't thinking about that. But anyway, hopefully by the end of the month, everybody will be back, or most of them back. Stonesy will be back. Hopefully Haaland will be back, and KdB. We'll see about Doku. One final thing Pep said, he's asked about the importance and, injuries and blah, blah, blah. Pep said, look, complaining is not a style. Basically, one of his favourite phrases, I don't think he used it yesterday, was, it is what it is. And it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. Complaining about it isn't going to help you, isn't going to change anything, isn't going to make somebody come back from injury faster just because you complained about it. So basically the thing is to do is just to get on with it. Get on with it. But it's something we need to look at because, yes, we've got lots of academy players, yes, but they're not experienced enough. We can't slot, in my opinion, lots of 2 or 3 academy players or 2 or 3, I call them fringe players, into a side and expect it to perform like a well-oiled machine, like City of past. Okay, because we've lost senior players, like we mentioned before. Mahrez is gone, KdB's out, Gundogan's gone, even Laporte, who's wasn't playing that much last season, especially last half of the season. He's still a senior player around the squad. He brings you that experience, and I'm sure in the dressing room he will help the players and on the bench and whatsoever. So, but you can't bring 3 or 4 players in and expect to play like that. I think if you've got Doku there, you've got KdB there, yes, you can play with 1 or 2 fringe players and get by because the rest of the team is so good. The rest of the unit is so good. But there you have it, guys. As I said, just to summarize, it looks like it's going to be the end of the month for most of our players to be fully fit. KdB might appear against Huddersfield. He might even be on the bench today, but we'll see. Why not? I say why not? If you're just about ready and you want him to come on for 5 or 10 minutes at the end, why not? You don't need to play him, especially if you're winning 2 or 3. You don't need to put him out there. But for 5 or 10 minutes, I think that's going to be reasonable. Guys, if you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. Almost on 18,000 subscribers. I think we'll pass 18,000 subscribers today. It's been a phenomenal last month with thousands of new subscribers. So thank you to everybody. If you give you a thumbs up for this video, it'd be great as well. And if you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around, Blues.